We are a little over an hour into trading time for your real-time flash. Lorillard trading at all-time highs this morning. Shares up more than 40% so far this year. FedEx removed from the short-term buy list over at Deutsche Bank. And Mosaic upgraded to a buy from a hold at Stifel Nicolaus, also getting an upgrade over at JP Morgan.
Get this, working harder doesn't necessarily get you ahead. There's a new movement to get employees to work less in order to boost their productivity. In a recent New York Times article, the CEO of Aruba Network said he instituted a no vacation policy at his company 2 years ago. Employees can take paid vacation when they need, as long as their work gets done. Since then, Aruba Networks is up 450%, though that may not be totally the reason why. Tony Schwartz is CEO of the Energy Project, which advocates working less. His clients include Goldman Sachs, Apple, Google, though I suspect not yet Comcast.
Not yet.
So what's the idea here?
The idea is that human beings aren't made to operate like computers, running at high speeds continuously for long periods of time. We're actually designed to pulse. Think about breathing. You don't get any credit in life for breathing in if you can't breathe out. And the real way to maximize your productivity is to work intensely for short periods of time and then recover so that you're not continuously burning down the system.
But how would that work on the production line at Ford?
You know, the way it would work is that, and this goes for hospitals and it goes for customer service centers and all kinds of other places. I don't know how it would work with you guys, but maybe this, what I'm about to say applies, is that you, in effect, bring people in. It's like you have people on call. You make sure that when a person is engaged, they're fully engaged. And when they're at the limits of being able to be engaged, they're in a position to recover. And so, that's just a different paradigm for working, and one that we're finding companies are really beginning to embrace in the face of extraordinary demand.
How does this apply on a daily basis? I mean, the vacation policy is such that you can take time when you deem it necessary. On a daily basis, you just take a break whenever you feel it's necessary.
We, as human beings, Melissa, as human beings, we're designed actually with something called an ultradian rhythm to move between high levels of arousal down into a physiological trough every 90 minutes.
Wow.
Wow.
Every 90 minutes.
90 minutes in, Simon, to the show.
I know, I'm on my second trough already.
You're moving toward the trough, and if you're feeling a little bit like you'd like to go to the restroom, or you're itchy in your chair, or you're irritated, all of those things would be a sign that you need a break. We can always call up stress hormones to be able to, in an emergency situation, deal with high demand, but it doesn't serve us well. So every 90 minutes, it's best to take a break. It's not the length of the break that matters, it's the quality of the break that matters. So it's possible through a deep breathing exercise, even in the commercial break here, going into your nose through a count of 3, out through your mouth through a count.
This must be great. I mean, I'm sure the board of Goldman Sachs is lapping it up, but a lot of people, a lot of CEOs would be worried that their workers would take advantage, that they won't work very hard, that they might be lazy. You know, it's not going to work on a shop floor, on a retail environment. It's not going to work on the production line at Ford. You can't have individual.
Let's go back to the retail environment. Nonsense. Nonsense. We have made a mistake by thinking that the way to value somebody is the number of hours they put in instead of the value they generate. If you hold them accountable to generating a certain amount of value and you measure them by the value they create, whatever that is, whether it's widgets or dollars, then you are shifting the focus to what really matters.
So let's say for the example of a Goldman Sachs, what are some of the metrics on which they would be measured so that they are able to take?
Well, you know the answer. You know the answer to that. Sure. What are the metrics they're measured? Yeah, of course. So if a person can generate a higher revenue, a higher level of revenue, by working in a different way, wouldn't you rather have that person? By the way, the no vacation policy that the head of this network, we tried that at the Energy Project, and you know what happened? People were reluctant to take vacation. So what we did instead was to put back a vacation policy, but to make it a very liberal vacation policy, because we know that when people take more vacations, they perform better. Ernst & Young did a study of their own partners and found that every additional 8 hours of vacation that people took, they got a over the course of a year, they got a 10% higher performance rating, and there was a significantly higher level of retention.
Melissa, how many days vacation have you taken this year?
This year?
Yes.
Maybe 2.
You're not a big fan of vacation, are you?
I usually leave a lot of vacation on the table.
Because this is what you're saying. This is exactly what.
Absolutely. 450 million vacation days left on because they're scared and because they're addicted to their own adrenaline. And they literally get addicted to the speed of what's going on inside their bodies and find it more uncomfortable not to work than to work. But you're not sustainable when you do that. So you look great right now, but if you keep this up, it's gonna catch up with you.
She always looks great.
Imagine if I took vacation.
You'd be in Fat City.
All right, I'm putting in for it right now. Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Straight ahead, are you convinced?
I'm convinced.